Screw it, we'll just do it live. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Enjoy this music. I'll be right back. Music on. Oh man, this was working just a second ago. All right, we got our kick up and running. We got the Facebook and the YouTubes. We're on X live. We're live on Kick right now. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. I have a really special show planned for you. I've had some music on my phone here a second ago. Let me just try to pull that back up. That way you guys can enjoy that for a second.
Chief got
Enjoy that for about a second.
Mama raised a cowboy. His story where it all begun. Now law's in my blood. Country in my
There goes that music, everybody. I hope you enjoy that song.
eyes. It's a place where
We're going to talk about the blue line of supremacy that divides us all and how that became a thing. I had Mr. Shields here respectfully come into the comments on the YouTube channel, and he says that I mentioned the blue line is associated with white supremacy and that it's well known, and he was asking for my source, and I gave him a Google link, and you guys can do that if you want to. Just Google it. I sent him a simple Google search. Didn't satisfy him. At the same time, I'm glad he got to the channel so that I can answer some of his questions with my knowledge. And he said those were opinions, and he wasn't too concerned about that. But anyway, long story short, we're gonna do a show about the blue line of supremacy that's dividing us all.
Talk about the good times when good times end. I'm more than dust in the wind. I'm the
Some
song of the
volumes.
South, where all that big boy shit will get you punched
Got
in the
some good
mouth.
volumes. Let me know in the chat.
I'm living to learn lessons. Got country inside my soul and a soul that's full of blessings.
now law's in my blood. Country in my soul. Pine trees in my eyes. It's a place where I call home.
Everyone who comes in and leaves a little comment, tell us what you want to say. We're up on the State of Accountability YouTube, Copwatch Chronicle YouTube. We got the Voices of the Silence YouTube, the Amazing Audits Facebook page. We're live on X at Copwatch Chronicle, and we're live on Kick Copwatch Chronicle. So thank you guys for leaving a little comment, telling us where you're watching from and what platform you'd like to get your live streams on. We're back in the belly of the beast, guys, and you're listening to Cop Watch Chronicle. I'm Mr. Amazing. Tonight, we're not just going to look at the news. We're not just going to have Cop Watch talk like normal. Looking through the window, they tried to tent black. We've been talking about that flag. You know, the one. The black and white stripes with that single neon blue bang running through the center. They call it a memorial. They call it a thin blue line. I call it a border wall. And tonight we're going to talk about who that wall is built to keep out and who it's built to protect from the consequences of their own choices. How's How's everybody doing tonight? Thank you for finding the stream. That's right. I should set up a TikTok. They give really good rewards over on TikTok if you go over to TikTok and you do a live stream and stuff. They're giving you away cash. Just thought I would mention that. You guys could check it out if you want. Let's get the screen up for you. What is supremacy?
Country in my soul, pine trees in my eyes. It's a place where I call home. Bury me by my king, so they tell the story again.
Supremacy means that you feel like you have that you do have the ultimate authority, the supreme power, or the position of being the best. As you guys can see here on the screen, that's the definition. And the U.S. Constitution has a supremacy clause. The supremacy clause establishes that the U.S. Constitution and federal laws take precedence over conflicting state laws. We can talk about that in a different show. But today, I wanted to focus on what makes the blue line something that divides us all. And what I had here was a little chat, actually, with GPT. I'm going to let you guys listen to that for about a second, and we'll get into the meat of the discussion, all right?
The thin blue line flag is a highly polarizing symbol that undeniably divides the United States public. Whether it represents supremacy depends entirely on whether one is evaluating its original, stated intent, or its practical modern application. Here is an objective breakdown of how the symbol functions sociologically and politically. The stated intent, memorial, and order. The origin and official explanation of the thin blue line flag are rooted in commemoration and civic duty. The black background represents a memorial for law enforcement officers who have died in the line of duty. The blue line represents the police force itself, acting as the barrier that separates societal order from criminal chaos. In a purely historical or theoretical vacuum, honoring fallen individuals and conceptualizing the role of law enforcement is not inherently a supremacist concept. The reality of division. Symbols acquire meaning through their use in society. The modern prominence of the thin blue line flag surged explicitly in response to the Black Lives Matter movement and widespread public demands for police accountability. Counter-protest roots. The flag was widely adopted as the banner for the Blue Lives Matter counter-movement. Inherent polarization. When a symbol is popularized specifically in opposition to a movement demanding civil rights and equal treatment under the law, it structurally becomes a symbol of division. It forces a binary choice in the public sphere between supporting law enforcement and supporting police reform. Intersections with supremacy. The claim that the flag represents supremacy has validity when analyzing power dynamics and extremist co-optation. 1. State supremacy and the us versus them dynamic. The visual metaphor of the flag, a single line separating citizens from chaos, can reinforce an authoritarian power dynamic. When displayed by armed agents of the state while interacting with the public, it often signals an us versus them mentality. This asserts that law enforcement exists as a separate, elevated class standing above the civilian population, which functions as a form of state or structural supremacy. 2. Co-optation by extremist groups. The symbol's meaning has been fundamentally altered by its adoption by far-right and white nationalist groups. The flag was prominently flown alongside Confederate flags and Nazi symbolism at the 2017 Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville. It was extensively utilized during the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. Because law enforcement agencies and police unions have not universally or effectively reclaimed the symbol from these groups, it has become permanently linked to white supremacist ideologies for a significant portion of the American public. Summary. While its defenders define it as a memorial, the practical reality is that the thin blue line flag operates as a politically charged banner. It creates a stark divide between the state apparatus and the citizenry, and through its co-optation by extremist groups and its deployment as a counter-protest symbol, it frequently functions as a marker of both state and racial supremacy in the modern political landscape.
Living to learn lessons, got country and
Say that
It is
again.
absolutely true that a liaison model would require a tiny fraction of the people.
My soul in a soul that's full of blessings.
Now lost in my
This is a great question, and it is exactly the kind of complex, highly charged topic that requires stripping away emotion to look at.
blood, country in my soul. Pine trees in
Oh my gosh, right
my
now.
eyes. It's the place where I
Anyways, so that was the take from Gemini conversation I had with them. We good on audios 5x5? I hear a little bit of an echo. Are you guys getting an echo too? Let's see if that made it better. I don't hear nothing with the headphones off. All right, yeah, you can follow us on our other platforms. I'll put the link in the chat if you want to check it out. We got another one here. Wanted you guys to check out this CBS News Chicago. I'm going to mute it, but if you wanted to see the whole video, you'll have to go over there. COPA releases body camera footage of deadly shooting involving police in Humboldt Park. Check it out. I haven't seen this yet. Oh, yeah, I have. Can you guys see it? Let me make sure I put it on the screen for you. I'll watch how they do them.
Freezing this video right before one of those officers can be seen firing at least 5 shots at the passenger side window. Body cameras. Officers could be heard yelling. A brief police officer. Do want to warn our viewers that the video you're going to see is graphic. Take a look. You'll see the moments that 2 Chicago police officers are approaching a white Mercedes that's crashed into a CTA bus. It's happening after a brief pursuit by officers. Officers could be heard yelling, "Get out of the car
Man.
or we'll shoot." The driver then starts ramming the bus and the unmarked police squad car back and forth, and then we're freezing this video right before one of those officers can be seen firing at least 5 shots at the passenger side window of that car. Another officer could be heard saying, "I see he's hit," as he's...
That's incredible, isn't it, guys? So that's their supremacy, right? They come up, they take your life, they have this blue line of fallen brotherhood that's between us and them. You know what I mean? I've noticed when I'm out there filming cops, if the officers in the jurisdiction where I'm at, if they pull up and they got this blue line stripe down the side of their car, then we know that these officers are going to give us a hard time. Like, this is the mentality that comes with that blue line. And I'm not the only one that noticed it. There were people along the way that also agreed that it's just a white supremacist like logo or symbol. So let's get things straight. Protect and serve. That's a marketing slogan, guys. You know, it's not a legal mandate. The Supreme Court has told us in Castle Rock v. Gonzalez ruling that they don't have a constitutional duty to protect you. So what is that blue line actually doing? It's marking a separate class of citizenship, guys. When an officer slaps that sticker on their cruiser, they paint it on all their cruisers. They wear it on their tactical vest or around their badge. They aren't signaling service. They're signaling supremacy. They're telling you that there is an us and there is a them. You know, the us is the ones with the qualified immunity, the state-sanctioned violence, and union-backed silence. The you is you, the civilian, the person paying the taxes to fund the very shield that's being used to push you back. That shield isn't a tool for safety. It's a barrier of division. It dog shits on the idea of a public servant and it replaces it with a ruling class. I'm always willing to have my mind changed, though, guys. So that's one thing I liked it about Clay. Clay comes in. He was respectful. He said he wanted to learn some more. I thought maybe he was respectful. I thought we could talk about it. Let's see. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm always willing to have my mind changed. If you're not willing to have your mind changed, well, then that makes you a bigot. You have certain beliefs about people of a certain group, and you won't have your mind changed. That's the definition of bigot. So in the town of Castle Rock v. Gonzalez, the Supreme Court ruled 7-2 that individuals do not have a constitutional right to police enforcement of a restraining order. Wow. The court held that Colorado did not create a property interest in police protection that would allow a victim to sue for violation of the 14th Amendment's due process clause. In 1999, Jessica Gonzalez's estranged husband violated a restraining order by kidnapping their 3 daughters. Despite her repeated requests for assistance, the Castle Rock police failed to take action. The husband later off the children and was killed by police in a shootout. She sued the town and police for failing to enforce the order, arguing that it violated her procedural due process rights in a 1983 case. They ruled that no protected property interest, writing for the majority, Justice Anton Scalia concluded that the mandatory language in a state's restraining order statute that police shall make an arrest does not make the enforcement a mandatory entitlement. So anyways, yeah, this isn't a new phenomenon. This is supremacy that's baked right into the DNA of the American policing. We didn't start with officer friendly, you know. There were the slave patrols. Right? Were the origins of policing slave patrols. Can you guys see the screen? Origin of police is slave catching. Fact check. The claim that the origin of police is slave catching is a complex, often debated historical issue with significant proven but partial truth. While the sole origin of policing, slave patrols, while not the sole origin of policing, slave patrols are universally recognized by historians as an early organized and legal form of policing in the American South. Slave patrols were created in the Carolinas in the early 1700s with the mission of maintaining a system of terror, suppressing potential revolts, and returning runaway slaves. So there's that. Just saying. They were organized patrols, and they were designed specifically to protect the property of the elite and suppress the human rights of the marginalized. That was the first Blue Line, guys. That's the same ideology that we live under now. Remember 1968 Democratic National Convention, the Battle of Michigan Avenue? You can watch the footage. It wasn't just keeping the peace. That was a police riot. Officers took off their badges so they couldn't be identified while they beat protesters and journalists alike. They protected the status quo, but not the people. I heard that for decades, intelligence divisions in cities like Chicago and Detroit didn't hunt criminals. They hunted activists, and they spied on anyone who dared to question the power of the state. History, I think, shows us whatever the people demand accountability, whenever we demand accountability, the blue line thickens. It's a recurring loop of authority holding itself above the very people it claims to serve. When we see that blue line flag today, we're seeing a symbol that has been co-opted by the most divisive elements of our society. When it flies next to another flag of hate or at a rally for extremists and the good cops don't rip it down, the silence is the message. It tells us that the brotherhood is more important than the Bill of Rights. It tells us that a liaison or a brother in blue is entitled to a level of secrecy and protection that you will never have. Now I've seen that on cop watches too. I go on these stringer assignments, and it might be like a shooting, or one was a carjacking. People got hurt, and when an officer is involved in the shooting, they will take like 2 blocks, 2 whole blocks, and tell everybody go back in your house. They'll yell at everyone on the street to not come out, and they won't let you come out of your home and stuff. Basically, man, if it's just like a shooting and one of us shoots each other, they put like some tape around from tree to tree or whatever, just right there where the shooting happened. They put a few cones over the casings, and that's it. They don't care if you see anything on those cases. It's a level of secrecy and protection that you will never have. It's a visual representation of the warrior mentality. The idea that the city is a battlefield and the citizens are potential combatants. That's why they wear all this heavy gear. They have these long guns, these armored vehicles. You know, are they wearing trauma plates? Like, they're ready for wartime out there, and they use shotguns. You can't have a service mentality while wearing a symbol of supremacy. You can't be a part of the community while you're busy building a wall to separate yourself from it. Every time I see a cop or one of these public officials prioritizes that blue line over the truth, they're spitting on the GED holding, tax paying, hardworking people who actually keep this country running. They think they're the line between order and chaos. No, they are the line between the people and the justice we are owed. Keeping your cameras rolling, guys. I want you to keep your eyes open out there. If you see a stop, you need to try to film a cop. Get out of your car. Don't approach these officers. Stay within line of sight. Don't talk to anybody, and just film. These cops need to know that anytime that they stop their vehicle, there could be somebody there with a camera watching. I want you to think about this blue line, and don't let it blind you. Don't let it be a thick wall of corruption. It's trying to hide so much bad. We need you guys to stay vigilant, stay recording. Also, if you have a police interaction story that you would like to put on the Cop Watch Chronicle newsletter, you could just email copwatchchronicle@gmail.com. It's one word, and we will get your testimonial up on the site. I do get a lot of negative interaction stories over there, so we are currently prioritizing any stories of testimonials where officers were positive, the interaction came out positive, and everybody was treated with dignity and kindness in the testimonial. So if you have a story like that, share it over. We'll get it on the newsletter and let the world see it. We got to try to work to rebuild these bridges that have been torn down in the community. Don't you guys think? We got some more, a lot more links, a lot more funny stuff to look at, and a lot more to talk about. Thank you guys for being here. Thought it was Friday night. We may as well figure it out, talk a little bit, read some comments, tell us where you're watching from. If you want to create StreamYard shows better than this one, like mine, you could present your screen. You could go on multiple platforms. Just follow the link in the comments. You could get your StreamYard, and you save $10. I think they shoot me a discount or something. You guys are the backbone of the channel. We appreciate each and every one of your comments, likes, shares.
Bonfires and tattoos. We keep it real, we don't take no shit. Yeah, the outlaws in the blood will go and pick me a switch. So when I die, bury me next to my kin. So we can talk
for everybody. Oh yeah. What do you guys think about street justice? You guys believe in, I mean, the justice system, it doesn't work, right? It's the injustice system. So what kind of justice do you believe in? Do you still believe in the type we pay for? Or do you believe in like some street justice? Let me make sure you guys can see the screen. Got to get it up there. Boop, boop. Wrong one. This one. How's that? All right, cool. Check this out, man. This dude's sitting in court. He's not too worried, man. He's been brought in from the brought over from the jail or whatever, being held on often someone, I think. There's the dad's right here with the family. You can see the whole family in the back. Can y'all see this all right? Yeah, hear the dad right here. I think mom's crying. POV, you're in court and you see the man who took your son's life. I wonder what the ruling was. What made him go off? He clearly doesn't believe in the justice system. But boy, oh boy, did he screw up or did he not screw up? Because, I mean, if I was this guy's family, I would be very mad at him, actually. Just for one little chin check, you could possibly screw up the trial. Am I right or wrong? Here, this man's supposed to be getting a free trial, fair trial. Boom, chin check. Yep. So there's that. What's justice like? What's it defined as for you guys? I don't think street justice is right necessarily. There's a lot of slippery slopes when you're taking out justice into your own hands. And if you do believe in the system that we have, then you got to give a person the shot to go through and be reformed, found guilty, and all of that in a court of law and reformed, right? Like that's the American way. That's our system. Next video. Viewer discretion is advised. You guys see this all right? Let me make sure. Whoop, whoop. Okay, good. You guys can see it.
Proceed to route.
Hey, partner. Hey, buddy.
Yo, yeah, check this out, guys.
Hey, motherfucker! '67, '62 Marine. He's signal 55.
26.
Hispanic, male, green shirt. He's running through the woods right now. I believe he's got a knife. Come here now!
26. HLB 1033 for now. Current any unit in the area of 11770 Northwest 11th plate. Signal 13 India. Signal 55.
Get your hands now! Lay down on the ground now! Get on the ground!
The dude's walking back and forth being shady and stuff. Dude's got his back up now, so they're gonna go take him down. Check it
Yeah,
out.
because he come at me fast. I almost shot him earlier. Get on the ground!
Get on the ground! Get on your stomach! Get on your
Watch
stomach!
that knife.
Get on your stomach!
Watch the knife.
Put your hands behind your back! Hands behind your back! Don't even
Don't
move!
reach for anything!
Don't even move!
I'm gonna kick that knife
Don't even
away.
move! If you move and you grab that
Two
knife, you're
knives.
gonna get shot. Do you
I'll
understand
kick
me?
I don't think they should threaten you. I don't think you should be cursed at or demeaned. This guy's probably in a mental health crisis right now. It seems that way to me. And I don't think that anyone being serviced by another person needs to be called shithead names by the guy holding the gun. I'm just saying. And the other guy even had a knife. I mean, it's not like he even had a gun. So you're not even equally matched. You're the one with backup and everything. You don't need to be dehumanizing people and demeaning them while you're servicing them. You're supposed to bring this person safely to justice. That's your job.
The knife away.
I don't care what you got.
Wait on for backup. Wait on for backup. I'm by myself. I'm by myself. I'm by myself.
If you move, you're gonna get tased. Do you understand?
Hey, I am though happy that he switched to non-lethal though. Hey, look, he got tattoos on his arms. That's kind of nice though. Birds, tree. I don't see no gang affiliated, nothing, y'all. Unless he's covering it up. That's probably what it is.
I'm by myself. Why are you coming for backup? Because you were trying
to stab. We got him detained.
Anyways, here's the guy, Roberto Medina Marquez. May 13th, a couple days ago. Listen to what the dude says to him. Y'all can hear it, right? No echo?
I should have killed you, bitch. You know that, right? I should have killed you. Okay. You're lucky I didn't. You know that, right? You should thank God for that. I would have killed you in your neck. I would have stabbed you in your neck.
He was talking to this dude like a dog, man. Once they got him, his backup arrived, and they was trying to command him around and stuff. Get over here! He's screaming at him like a dog. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know how that's gonna. How's that gonna get a human being to want to cooperate with you? Screaming at him like they're a subhuman or they're below you. See, that's that supremacist mindset, man. For them to get out of the car and come over, immediately tell you where to stand, immediately tell you. Give them something. They haven't even asked you your damn name. You know, give me your ID. Stand over there. These guys can be really rough, man. And it's that whole shield between us and them, right?
This subject tried to stab him.
That's 10-4.
Anyways, let me find another little clip. I had something else here for y'all. About another 10. Check it out.
It's black. Decker is closing
Okay, I guess this one's about the economy. Let's talk about it.
a plant in Connecticut, laying off 300 employees. IKEA is closing stores. Francesca is closing. Saks off 5th. Neiman Marcus last call. Macy's is cutting 150 stores. Kroger is cutting stores. That's the grocery retailer, also known as Smith's. 7-Eleven is closing stores. REI is closing. Wendy's is closing stores. Pizza Hut is closing stores. Apple is closing select stores. Walgreens is closing select stores. CVS Pharmacy, Rite Aid, Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, Dollar General, Big Lots, Best Buy, Bed Bath & Beyond, Party City, Foot Locker, Champs Sports, Kids Foot Locker, The Gap, Banana Republic, Old Navy, JCPenney's, Nordstrom.
A lot of people going to the breadline, I guess. Unemployment time.
Kohl's, Burlington, Ross Dress for Less, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Home Goods, GameStop, Office Depot / Office Max, Staples, Starbucks, Subway, TGI.
Wow, it sounds like there's going to be a lot of layoffs this season, everybody. Listen to the song real quick. I got to check something on my studio back end.
Tattoos, we keep it real, we don't take no shit. Yeah, the outlaws in the blood will go and pick me a switch. So when I die, bury me next to my kin, so we can talk about the good times when good times end. I'm more than dust in the wind, I'm the song of the South, where all that big boy shit will get you punched in the mouth. I live life.
And new at 9 tonight, Thornton police are investigating a homicide.
Oh yeah, this is a good one. You guys got to check this out for real. Like, the Thornton police arrested a man on a homicide and then released him like in the same day. He shot some dude and killed him, like in front of his house or something. Let me make sure you guys can see the screen. Put it on the stage again. There it is.
A crashed truck with gunshot wounds. Fox 31's Nate Belt joins us live from the scene where that truck is still sitting tonight. Nate, what do we know right now?
Yeah, Kim, amazing is still here.
Look, check it out, though. He shot this
down the
dude in
street. If we take a step about maybe 50 yards this way, down the road, we are on Ogden Court in Thornton. Take a look at this right here. We've got tire marks on the sidewalk. There's paintings, presumably these marks from the Thornton police. There's tire marks all the way.
I don't know if it was daytime or nighttime, but the dude was out here, I guess, with his truck, and he was breaking into cars. That's what I heard on here. And he was breaking into cars, and the guy came outside with his gun, and I think the dude tried to drive away in his truck, and the dude shot him. So he ended up crashing the truck down the street a little ways.
Way up into the grass. That's also...
They picked the guy up and charged him with murder, and then let him go.
On the other side of the street as well.
I think that just goes to point out how if you don't have a life of crime, you're not a career criminal, you can literally kill somebody and like you'll get a bond, like they'll let you out. You just agree to come to court. That's all it is. You might have to pay a bond, but if you've never committed a crime, you'll probably have $0 bond for a violent crime like murder.
Homes that this truck presumably drove through the yard of. Now, here's what we know so far from Thornton Police. They say they were just dispatched out here at about just after 3 this morning. A 34-year-old male was found near that crashed truck just down the road there that we just showed you. They say they were suffering from apparent gunshot wounds. They say investigators believe that person was seen breaking into vehicles, attempted to leave the area in the truck after that shooting, and that's when they were struck. They struck multiple parked vehicles as they were driving out of the neighborhood before coming to a stop. Where you see that truck was just down the road there. Officers rendering aid to that person, but they were later pronounced deceased at the hospital. Now the suspect is a 23-year-old.
He was trying to drive away, man, and a dude killed him. So what do y'all think? Is that murder? You come out, somebody's breaking into your stuff, they flee. Pretty sure if a cop did this, we'd call it murder, right? Oh, correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me in the comments. Oh, yeah. Do you guys remember Josh Martinez? He was doing a show the other day, and I found it interesting that the story that he had to tell. Like, Josh went through a lot of crap over a period of 5 years because of the government. And he was telling his story, and then the live stream cut off. Now, one of his stipulations for the 5 years was that he couldn't have a device or something like that. And I don't know. I'm concerned about Josh, though. That's all I was trying to say. After I came into the comments, his live stream abruptly ended. And then he didn't ever go live again. And he was talking about it. He was going to tell us more. He had clips and stuff he wanted to show us. And it's just like, what happened to Josh, guys? Does anybody know? Can we check on him? What? Poor guy. I'll let you hear some of the story. If you haven't already went over there and subscribed to Josh Martinez on YouTube, you got to do that, and you can go listen to his whole live stream over there. Sorry for the brief delay. I had to hook up some headphones, so the TV's not being heard through the mic. Let's see if it's better now. Oh, yeah, so much better. He's got some chickens out there on his ranch. You're not allowed,
hey, what's up, guys?
You're not allowed to sell them.
Been a while. Just doing a live stream for the first time on my channel. It's been about maybe 5-6 years since I've uploaded anything. I don't know, man. There's a lot to cover. There's a lot of things I've experienced ever since my presence on social media. We were raided by the FBI over Facebook posts. I was placed on $1 million bail.
Do you guys remember the Facebook meme? It was the officers, where they're like Marines or cops, and Boston cops or something, maybe carrying a casket. It's got a flag draped over it. It said something about freedom seeds get planted every time an officer goes in the ground or something like that. And he said he couldn't wait for certain officers' freedom seed to grow. Or that's not exactly the post. You guys will have to find it, but that was my recollection of what happened. And for that, they charged him with terrorism and gave him $1 million bond.
The judge kept denying.
They made it out like he was the worst thing to happen. And he was blacklisted from Vegas. So that's a kind of a short list, I think, of people you got to be kind of notorious to be on.
Bail. So
he makes some very interesting claims in this video about the LVMPD officers being connected to the students.
I finally got back into my account. It's been tough getting back in, but I finally figured it all out. What's going on? Nice 3DP. Let you guys know I'm doing all right. Just out here in the Nevada desert. I don't live in Las Vegas anymore. I'm living out in a town called Moapa.
Hang with me, guys. We're going to scrub it. Let's find out if Josh is safe. Let's listen to the details. It's I find it incredibly strange that we have not heard back from him since the phone went out or whatever happened.
Farming. I'm a chicken farmer now. That's one of the big sources of income here for my farm. And it's been pretty cool. It's been wild.
Oh, well, I thought he couldn't sell them. I mean, later on he talks about how he could give them away, but he can't sell them. So I might have been misled about that. But
I was on house arrest on this farm for 4 years.
So imagine that. This guy's in like a remote area of Nevada on a farm, and he can't leave it. He's like homesteading, I think. I don't know what kind of living arrangement he has, but you heard him. It's a farm.
A little over.
And then they won't let him come in to the populated area nearby also to make it even worse.
4 years.
I mean, he can't leave his farm. I guess it doesn't make sense. But yeah, when he could leave his farm, I guess he couldn't go to Vegas. He'll tell us about it.
And it was tough getting some work. I was barred from entering the city of Las Vegas that entire time. It was, and there's not a lot of jobs out here. The closest town is Las Vegas. And once I got my farm going, I tried to set up in the farmer's market out there, and we put in an application.
And maybe I'm not up on it, but I think when you're on house arrest, like you can leave sometimes. So that might be why the stipulation that you can't go to Vegas during that time. So yeah, if in fact he could leave, he wouldn't be able to go to the populated area and like get his necessities.
Or petition to the judge to modify my conditions to allow me to work out in the city of Las Vegas, and that was denied. So it was hard. It was super hard to make a living, but I did it. They were really trying their best to really
listen to what he says here.
Put the pressure on me to give up. It didn't seem like they wanted me to take a deal. They wanted me to explode. People say, oh, they just want you to take a deal. We all know there's a deal coming at the end, a plea deal, an offer from the state or the government, whether it be federal or state. There's always that, that possibility. But the conditions they put on me were just insane. I had no, they didn't allow me to get on social media. They didn't want me.
All right. Before he goes any further, though, I just want to give a little context for my knowledge of Josh. When I first heard about Josh, I was in the Las Vegas City Jail, and I was talking to Eric Brandt on the phone. And Eric was telling me how Josh was arrested. And I guess at one point, Josh was on probation for something. I can't remember. I'm sorry, I just don't remember what it was. He was on probation. He was ordered to not have weapons. So there's like an officer, and again, allegedly, I don't know all the details. Supposedly, if I'm wrong, tell me in the comments. But there's an officer that was like romantic or something with his ex-old lady. And so on the last day of his probation, the very last day, that cop came to his house. Now, when you're on probation, you have to let the cops in. That's it. I mean, that's mandatory. You have to let the cops in. They can come in whenever they want, I think. So anyways, he lets him in. The guy comes in and he finds the fire poker. And he takes the fire poker and he arrests Josh and he says, "You're in possession of a weapon. So you're under arrest." And that's where Josh was arrested. So if you're ever told that you're banned from having a weapon, you just need to know that every single thing is a weapon. And they will wait till the last day when you're reformed. You're a day from reformed or whatever. And they'll come in and find something in your house, like a paper clip. Literally a paper clip. Anything bigger than that will get you arrested for having a weapon. And yeah, that was my first knowledge about Josh.
I couldn't even have a phone, a cell phone.
The reason Eric was telling me was because he had to turn down bond. Like, they were going to release him, but they ordered him to not have a weapon. And so, as a homesteader, he has hatchets and shovels and all this pickaxes and stuff. He couldn't take the bond terms, so he stayed in jail for a while.
Phone, a smart TV, anything that was capable of going onto the internet, I was not permitted.
You're that like he's a hacker or something. Why would he need to be taken off of the internet, completely banned for 5 years? Something's wrong with that. This is a political thing. He was targeted. A political targeting, a political prisoner on $1 million bond for free speech, as doing something free speech related. Now, he'll say later here in the video that he did wish death on the officers, I guess, and he thinks it's reasonable. We'll let you guys decide.
So I was not permitted to have any device, any access to any device. So it was insane, guys. It was insane. So I got my farm going. I raise about 600 chickens at a time. I have right now 600 meat birds. I raise cross chickens. We process them here. Folks are always welcome to come out and process their birds here. I have some goats, dairy goats and meat goats, a couple of hogs. And
that's cool, man.
Yeah, and some layer hens. So everything's over. Everything is over. They decided to do time served and let me go. And
so I don't know if that means they dropped the charges, though. I would like to know that. So it sounds like they just held him. They're doing this to a friend of mine right now, South Carolina corruption monitor. They're just going to hold him in there for the amount of time that it would have been if he was found guilty, and then release him without finding him guilty. That's what somebody told me they'll do to South Carolina corruption monitor. I think that's what Josh is saying they did to him. They held him for like the entire legal amount of time, and then they released him without charges. Tell me, that's not wrongful imprisonment.
It's been an experience, guys.
They don't even press charges on you. Eventually, they just let you go. Do you understand? It just was holding you.
I know a lot of you saw what I posted, and a lot of folks were offended. Some of my close friends even said that it was distasteful and it was not a good choice of words, which honestly I disagree. I disagree with a lot of my friends. I love you all, but my feelings on that have not changed. My feelings of wishing ill on those who have affected my life and have destroyed my family and have done things in an attempt. It felt like they were trying to get me to off myself.
I hope he's got some therapy. Being involved in activism can be very traumatic, and
or to do something insane and give them a reason to take me out. It wasn't you know, oh, you know, you truly broke the law. We're trying to protect and serve and protect the community.
Josh Martinez, this is the channel over here, guys. Martinez 4553. Guys, check it out. Send him some love. Tell him, where are you?
And have done things in an attempt. It felt like they were trying to get me to off myself.
Oh, poor guy, man.
Or to do something insane and give them a reason to take me out. It wasn't you know, oh, you know, you truly broke the law. We're trying to protect and serve and protect the community. No, the amount of pressure that was placed on me was
Okay, now, before he goes any further, I just want to attest that from my own experience, I know that the detention facility, the Clark County Detention Center where he was being held, was far worse than the jail that I was in. The Las Vegas City Jail and the Clark County Detention Center are like two different universes when you're being locked up. The Clark County Detention Center, I think, is widely known to be like the worst jail in the world. I'm pretty sure. I've been in there with people from all over the world, and they're always astonished at how bad it is, how bad they're treated, and how bad the food is. So, yeah, it's just it's a real bad place to be. And I know that should go for jail probably, but it's worse than it should be. And he's going to describe some of the ways. They did some of these things to me even in the city jail, like sleep deprivation with music. They'll do that. They'll make sure you can't sleep. They see you sleeping, they'll come over, they'll hit your door and shit. They'll shine a flashlight in your eye, like they won't let you rest. But the facilities are much better. I don't know. They're different cops. So over at the Clark County Detention Center, you have the LVMPD. They run the detention center, the county. Over at the city, you have the Las Vegas City Marshals, and they're just like, they're nicer, man.
It was intended for psychological reasons. I mean, the solitude.
Yeah, even at the city detention center, I was made to feel less than a human being. Ultimately, I one day realized that I was just a fish in there, basically.
Confinement, sleep deprivation tactics they did while I was in there. Not allowing me to shower for days. Putting me in cells that were filled with feces and urine and.
All right, so just to cover some of these things, let me go over it again.
These tactics they did while I was in there.
Sleep deprivation, that's a known torture tactic. It's like, I think it's a basic torture tactic, and I think it's illegal when used in war or something like that, right? One way or the other, it's a torture tactic. And you could start to lose your mind. I remember I couldn't get any sleep, and people were screaming in the vents. There was an insane person in the cell underneath me, and he would not stop screaming in the vent. And it was almost like, did I snap? Is it just the circumstances made me think it was a voice? Honestly, just sleep deprivation alone can take you to a dark place.
Not allowing me to shower for days.
So you are mandatory supposed to be allowed to have a shower within 72 hours, back to back. You always get out and have shower time within 72 hours, and you get an hour out of your cell for yard time or whatever, exercise time every day. Supposed to be.
Putting me in cells that were filled with feces.
You were never to be put in a cell ever for 5 seconds. I believe even in we should look it up, but I think even in the case of like a institutional emergency, they're not allowed to put you. That's not an allowed circumstance.
And urine and putting 2 ankle monitors on me. I had 2 ankle monitors on, one from the state and one from the federal government, both supervising me and.
While he was in jail? What? I can't imagine, man.
It was just over the top, and it was just so obvious. And then they barred me from not going on the internet, but they also barred me from making any statements to the media. I had gone. I wanted to give my side of the story.
So they made him radio silence.
The federal government, the state.
They effectively chilled his journalistic press rights.
Of Nevada, the prosecutor, which was Eckley, he put in a request to bar me from speaking to the media. Yet he gave statements to the media. And
hey, that's how they do, man. They told me I couldn't use my phone, and then all the court staff came in, and they were all texting each other. They were texting on their phones. I'm like, they're texting the defense or the prosecutor. This ain't right. But I can't use my laptop for my defense.
And told them that, that they're doing their best to protect the community and our officers.
Or like I wanted to help Melinda, so I was going to text her some chat GPT stuff or something, but they wouldn't allow us. They wouldn't allow that. But meanwhile, the other side is doing it blatantly. I complain in open court, and they basically said, well, they work here. So it did not apply to them at all.
Because threats like this have no place on social media or in our city, blah, blah, blah. Threats like this have no place on social media or, and told them that, that they're doing their best to protect the community and our officers, because threats like this have no place on social media or in our city.
That's exactly what free speech is. Where do they belong then? I guess they're not supposed to come out of his head.
Blah, blah, blah. Martinez is an extremist. They call me a white supremacist, even though I'm Chicano from El Paso, Texas. It isn't that they.
The white supremacists calling the Chicano white supremacist. Of course. That's relatable.
Didn't want me speaking out, because think about it. If a prosecutor heard a prosecutor in a murder case, totally a different scenario. A prosecutor in a murder case hears that the murderer, the accused, the defendant, wants to give a statement to the media. He's going to.
Oh, he's got a super good point right here, man. Yeah, you would think as the prosecutor, of course, you want the defendant to talk about the case. You want him to talk about the case because anything that he says, you're going to use. You're going to use to prosecute him, right? So you would think in a high profile case or something like a murder case or something, of course you would want the guy to talk to the cameras and shit. Maybe he'll slip up, mess up. I could use that against him. If you say it in the public forum, then it's open for me to use against you, right?
Go for it, because we can use anything he says against him. But in my case, they didn't want me speaking because they themselves knew what they were doing was wrong. And it was they don't want it to be brought to light. There's nothing more that the government hates than the light of day. So yeah, it was a crazy experience. So being on $1 million bail over Facebook posts because I wish death on Kenneth Meade and Michael Dickerson, who both prosecute people who are more freedom-minded, people who believe in restoring the Constitution, people who want to defend rights, people who want to limit government. Those two. I've said this before. I believe they're connected to the Democratic Socialists of Las Vegas.
Anyways, Gary Gordon, I can see you over on Facebook. For some reason, your comments aren't appearing for me on StreamYard, so I didn't see you at first. But thank you for staying tuned, man. I'm going to cover this Josh Martinez thing, man, because there's a connection there. And I'm going to always look out for my people. The dude, he began to start treating me nice when we first met. And anyways, it's what professional courtesy here, professional respect. One of the things I used to love to do is when Josh would do an audit in Las Vegas, I would come behind him and I would back up the audit. And that way I could make sure if we were being effective, sort of as like an undeclared team of sorts. It was fun.
I believe they are. I believe they are tied to those political groups, the Democratic Socialists of Las Vegas. I believe they are. I believe they are tied to those political groups. And it's so funny because on that topic, they contended everything else that I had said, that they were unconstitutional, that they were violating their oath. But that's the only thing they didn't come out and say, that was false. Everything else I had said that, they're unconstitutional, besides the supposed, the supposed threats and whatnot. They were saying that I had called them unconstitutional. I had called them tyrants. I had called them their jobs and the things they do as a violation to the Constitution. So they had they
He looks a bit nostalgic there, didn't he?
Said that yeah, what Josh said here is totally false. But what about my accusations of them being connected to the Democratic Socialists of Las Vegas?
I wish he would have been more specific about some of the things that they did to him in the jail. Like specifically, better specifics of granular things would have been nice. But also if he could have been more detailed about why he thinks that these parties and people are connected.
Blame it all on my roots that I showed up in boots with this old ragged guitar.
Guys, do me a favor. Make sure you like, comment, and share the stream. We're trying to work towards some goals here. Probably going to go live on TikTok later with a little bit of a fundraiser chat. So you guys are already subscribed over at Amazing Audits on TikTok. I believe that's tiktok.com/amazingaudits. I can drop a link real quick.
That big boy shit will get you punched in the mouth.
Right stuff.
With no questions, I'm living to learn lessons. Got country inside my soul and a soul that's full of blessings.
Now it is at Amazing Audits.
Country in my soul.
For y'all. Got some goals we working on. Trying to get some folks to follow us on our platforms. Work towards some wheels for our butt.
So they tell the story again when they say my name, when they talk about where the outlaws we do.
So they would fight everything like about being unconstitutional and everything because they didn't mind talking about that. But when he brought up connections to their being compromised by the Democratic Socialists of America, then they wouldn't bring that up in court.
Some proof out there that we would find if we were to hunt down, we could probably find.
So this wouldn't be that hard, in my opinion. Very simple records request. Maybe I'll do it. I don't know why Josh hasn't really thought about it, but just let's records request all the electronic communications where the police spoke with the Democratic Socialists of America. Let's just do a simple records request for that. I mean, there they are. I was checking it out. Democratic Socialists for environmental, economic, and social and racial justice for all. The right page. Could be a different group. Community of Vegas comrades committed to uplifting our cities with advocacy and organizing for a nationwide, worldwide working class movement. Another workers' party movement thing. Right?
Mama raised a cowboy.
Back to Josh. Let's check it out. this, and then
Wasting how
But
long?
that, to me, that's just an
Whiskey
idea.
in my blood.
The Democratic
Granny was a
Las Vegas completely
rebel.
alone.
She was
see,
gone.
if he would have been more specific, but these are good details. He's just saying the people make worse threats than him, so I can see why he's focused on it. That he said this group makes worse threats than him, and they actually post like wanted signs of police officers or something like that, and dead or alive it'll say, and they don't do anything to him. So I think that's part of his reasoning here behind that.
So they tell the story again when they say my name, when they talk about where the outlaws be good.
Outlaw in the veins, my mama, she raised a good one. I'm a smooth criminal from the south. Don't overlook them, I was raised on them truck trails. Truck been filled with gun shells. Did blood on the tailgate, didn't get caught, so who cares? Blame it all on my roots, that I showed up in boots with this old ragged guitar, a bunch of badass tunes, square bodies, firearms and pit bulls, dirt road, bonfires and tattoos.
I think that's the first signs of his stream. He's starting to get like bad internet or something, maybe, or they're screwing with it or something. I don't know what happened to him, man. He never went live again.
I've come to that
Next to
conclusion.
my kin, so we can talk about the good times when good times end. I'm more than dust in the wind. I'm the song of the South, where all that big boy shit will get you punched in the mouth. I live life with no questions. I'm living to learn lessons. Got country inside my soul and a soul that's full of blessings.
Citizens that have
Outlaws in my blood.
they're
Country in my soul.
pro-communists.
Pine trees in my eyes. It's a place where I call home.
And you don't go look at some of these guys.
By my kin.
Some of those socialist
So they
activists
tell
out in
the
Las
story
Vegas,
again
those guys,
when they
they
say my
post a
name,
lot of
when they
crazy stuff.
talk
They say a lot
about
of
where
crazy
the
things, but not
outlaws
one of
be
them
good.
ended up on the headlines of Las Vegas. Not one of them has been a
Do you guys want to look at the videos he's talking about? I might be able to find something later after we go through everything. That reminds me, I want to tell you guys about the Cop Watch Chronicle. If you have had a police interaction that you didn't get to tell your full side of the story, or you didn't get all of your feelings out through the process of justice, I know that happened to me. That's why I created Cop Watch Chronicle. It's a newsletter that goes worldwide to like-minded individuals, and we could talk about what we were never able to say during the justice system process. Sort of like how he was gagged from talking. That happened to me in a way while I was on the stand. So I was able to tell my story. And if you want to tell your story, you can send it to copwatchchronicle@gmail.com. That's one word. And we're particularly interested in any positive police interactions that you might want to share. We can go ahead and get those out because there's like 10 to 1 usually. And I'd like to get some even Steven going on, maybe as many good as bad. I'm trying not to burn bridges. We want to build bridges in the community. We want to expose the bad ones, but we want to highlight the good ones, right?
target for Metro, even though they call themselves victims, that they're standing up for, against police brutality, which I'm all for. I'm for that movement. But I don't like those socialists because they want to distribute wealth, to seize wealth, distribute it. There's a lot of things with communism and socialism. To me, they're the same. I don't care how you put it. You get a lot of so-called anarchists in Las Vegas who claim to be anarchists, but talk like they're damn commies because they want more government help. They want the government to stay out of their lives, but then in other categories of their life, they want government in, and it makes no sense to me. So let me see. Thank you. Earned arrest. I'm not going to arrest. But yeah, it's been crazy. It's been nuts. But I have problems that I'm trying to run from. I'm just planting them problems. If I were to do that, I'm just going to plant those seeds everywhere I go. Problems. I have problems that I'm trying to run from. I'm just planting them wherever I go. Why not start a community here where I'm doing what I've been wanting to do for years? I'm growing food for people.
Good for him.
I'm feeding families.
Happy for him.
That entrust me with that task, and it does come with a message. it does come with a message of freedom and liberty and true justice, the true purpose of what a man should do in the eyes of tyranny, in the eyes of an aggressive government. Those are the things I'm doing. I'm feeding families, speaking with them, building a community, letting people have better access to the food, so that.
Dang, man. I wonder what happened to him. I wonder if he got the same phone number. Now, I might try calling his back.
We don't eat the poison that they've been giving us at the supermarkets. I'm serving my purpose, and for so long I've tried to slowly figure out my purpose here on earth, and I've done what I had to do for the Bundys. They're out of prison. Slowly, but surely, trying to get to my goals, trying to reach my goals. Yeah, it was it's been quite a journey, guys. So I believe I'm at where I'm supposed to be, and I'm farming, raising healthy food for people. I've been teaching people how to butcher animals, goats, pigs, did a cow.
Good for him, man. What he went through was extremely traumatic. They put him on $1 million bail. I think they had to come up with $100,000 or something, guys. Or they might have got it reduced, but yeah, there was a lot of money. The Bundys helped him out. They matched for some of it. Just a story of how that blue line, it divides us. Those officers, they felt empowered to do these things to Josh, and then the state backed him up with the full power of the law, charging him with top tier crimes. Pretty crazy, man. I can't find his number on my phone. I know we were talking at one point, but I must have stored it on the device or something. What do we have next? Basically, Josh Martinez was gang stalked by the government, but when the government does it, they're just organized. That's just how the government works. It's just oppression, right? They made him want to kill himself. What do we have next? Oh, a couple of days ago, Aurora police arrested a suspect following an armed carjacking that involved a kidnapped passenger. They found drugs. There was a high-speed chase, pit maneuver. They landed on South Quebec by Exposition. 55-year-old Larry Barnes is facing kidnapping, motor vehicle theft, and drug charges. Is this the dude? They opened up this this was happening yesterday too. They went and found a couple more people that were involved with this. I guess the dude must have snitched or something. Let's see. Hey, it looked like the dude pointed a gun at him too. Oh, here he is, 55, kidnapper. Wow, that's something, bro.
Aurora police say a man stole a car with a woman who was blind still in the passenger seat.
Jeez.
They shared dash cam video of that chase and the moment officers ran to the car in order to bring it to a stop. Aurora police say flock cameras detected a stolen car around 3 o'clock Monday morning, and the driver took off when they tried to stop him. 55-year-old Larry Barnes was arrested and faces a long list of charges, including kidnapping.
Hey, he was probably.
Last 2
I don't
years,
know.
Sanborn
I don't
has-
know what he was doing, man. I'm just saying, though. I think he was probably just helping that lady. I don't know if it was. He was probably doing some free felony or something. I don't know. We don't know the circumstances. Did y'all see it though? It was on the screen, right? What do we have up next? Oh man, we got kids at school with guns in Aurora. I think that's what they were taking care of. Yeah, something related with this, I think, though. I wanted to look into this more. At 3 p.m., the teen's mother called the police. So drugs were involved, and some kid was on these drugs, I think, as if my understanding is correct. And so his mom called the police because he was like tearing up the house or scaring her or some shit. He was high. And that he barricaded himself in. Says that he threw homemade explosives directly at the APD responding officers. Oh, dang. On the morning of May 13th, school security tackled a student who brought a gun to school in Arapahoe County. Look at that. Just after 8:40 a.m., they began investigating about a 16-year-old spotted with a gun in the hallways. He had a gun, but he wasn't trying to die for it, was he? Let's see. Hey, just so you know, man, it's Colorado, man. You can't have guns in school out here in Colorado, man. They don't play that Columbine shit, man. I wonder why they don't show his face. Oh, snap. Wow. So the kids are strapped. They're strapped at school, man. And I've heard the kids these days don't know how to read. That's actually what I heard seen that on TikTok. I don't know if it's true, but on a lighter note, why don't we look at this guy with this mower, man? Have you guys ever wanted to take your push mower and make it a riding mower? That's what this dude did here, man. Can you see the screen? Let me make sure y'all can see this. I might have missed y'all on the last one. I'm sorry if we couldn't see or hear the screen. Might have just been me rambling. I got it fixed up though.
We're turning a push mower into a ride-on mower. I'm gonna just add my own steering rack and whatever you want to call it. It is well done. This might work. Accelerate. Left. Oh my god, so freaking smart.
Dang, that sucker's going, man. No way. Why is it so much faster now? Why are you buying those big old expensive riding mowers, man? Would you ride a mower like this? That's a good one. Push mower becomes a rider. Check them out. Oh, here's a good one too, man. This guy's got a gun pouch. Check this out, man. How many of y'all will buy something like this, man? I might start putting like some products on myself.
ปกติเราจะพกปืนอย่างเงี้ยมันพกไม่ได้นะแต่ถ้าเป็นตัวนี้เราแมกกาขึ้นมาแมกกาซีนผูกรูดซิปอันนี้คือเรารูดซิปมาเลยซิปตัวนี้เวลาเราเข้าเนี่ยทุกคนจะไม่เห็นซิปเพราะคิดว่าคงไม่ใช่
You can't see nothing.
มีกระเป๋าปืนตัวด้านหน้า
Oh, somebody's trying to rob you. Oh, I was just looking here.
ก็คือทั่วไป
There's nothing.
ถามว่านั่งได้ไหมนั่งได้นั่งได้ขึ้นปืนได้เวลาขึ้นปืนนะครับพร้อมใช้งานได้เลยนะปืนนี้ลงข้างล่างอันนี้ผมรูดซิปนะอันนี้ซิปมันยังใหม่อยู่นะครับอันนี้ระบบล็อกเซฟล็อกนะปลดล็อกพร้อมใช้งานก็ดึงที่ตัวนี้เบาๆอย่าดึงลงนะครับให้ดึงขึ้นนิดหนึ่ง
Yeah, that's a dope ass gun pouch. I like that.
ได้เลยตามนี้นะครับนะอันนี้ก็ถือว่าเป็นรุ่นที่คนหาเยอะกางเกงตัวเนี้ย
Now all's in my blood, country in my soul, pine trees in my eyes. It's the place where I call home. Buried me by my kin, so they tell the story again when they say my name. When it's
Yeah, I was thinking today. I was thinking about these cops at Aurora, or I think it was Douglas County or something. Let's see if I can find it. The Douglas County sheriffs are honoring their fallen. And I don't know, maybe I'm just weird or something, but maybe it's just statism or something, but I was thinking to myself, this is beautiful what they're doing, right? Like for fallen officers. But what a world it might be if these departments celebrated and honored the people that they had fallen. You know, us. What if they honored us? How much of a bridge building? See, this is that blue line of the fallen that divides us. See, look at the blue lines on their hats too. See? Wherever you see this blue line is racial supremacy. Look at that. They're all wearing it. And it almost looks like it's not even allowed on the uniform, because if you look, the rest of the uniform is not got it. They don't have it on the sidearms. Let me look a little closer. Oh, it is on the uniform. My bad. They're lined in blue all over. I didn't see that. They got blue line all over. That's your Douglas County Sheriff, I guess. We're honored to stand alongside agencies from the West State today at the Colorado Law Enforcement Memorial. Yeah, so proud of you guys for being there, fallen officers. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I hope their souls are punished forever, I think, is what I was thinking. Like, how many lives did they ruin? That's really what people need to be thinking about. These are not good folks. I'm not going to celebrate their death, but I don't wish anything good for them. How do you guys feel? Tell me what you think. I mean, we want to highlight whatever good deeds and stuff, man. But you know what? Never ever forget that behind it all is this blue line of supremacy, a lot of pain and hurt. They hurt a ton of people before anything happened to them. Always. So every time a cop gets out of their car, they turn someone to our side. Let me see. I didn't put it on the screen. Let me see if I can put it on the screen again. Here it is. Can you guys see it? They went to the fallen officer memorial here. They're all wearing the blue. They got totally trimmed in blue. All over trimmed in blue. They're so honored. Fallen officers, blue lines all over the whole place. It's bullshit. These guys have been tricked. That's my take on it. They've totally been tricked, and they think of it. They trick them that it's a blue line of fallen respect and all that, but all it really is just a line that divides us from them. Makes it okay to do anything to someone without the blue line, but you give the utmost secrecy and protection to somebody that's got the badge, right? It's not right, man. I was also thinking about Christian theology a lot today, and I'm thinking to myself, like, how did anybody ever go for this idea that there was a judgment after life? Like, the first thing you do when you die is you get judged down and shit, dude. No one ever even, like, gave you the instruction. You don't understand what the characteristics of this place are. Nobody ever told you where you were before. Like, if you don't know where you're from, you can't know where you're going, sort of thing. God, our Heavenly Father, is not even going to sit down and explain how we got misguided. It's just straight to divine judgment for all of your bad acts, you shitty being, you. Is that what it is? I mean, that's what it seems like to me. That's what I've heard. Maybe I'm wrong. Tell me in the comments. But, like, so you're supposed to live this whole life, and it's hard, and it's extremely traumatic for a lot of, I mean, for everyone, I think, right? From the moment you're born, like, you have to fight hunger your whole life. It never ends. There's a lot to living, and we don't really understand why we're doing it. We have to pay rent to live on a planet we didn't ask to be a part of, and all I'm saying is, the first thing you're going to do is hold me to judgment after this ends? Not a loving heaven. That doesn't seem very fatherly, very loving, very good in any kind of way, right? I mean, forgive me, Father, if I'm being blasphemous right here, right now, but you know what? I don't understand why it's a judgment. There's a lot I don't understand, but, you know, I'm trying to figure this out. Like, after all we go through, and the very little information we're even, like, given about what we're doing here or anything, you know, and then the almighty God, who hasn't even lived a life, he doesn't know what it's like to go through what we've been through. So I've lived it, I've done it, and you're gonna judge me in ignorance of it, right? I mean, I'm sorry. To me, this reminds me of the people the bigots that come into the comments. They've never picked up a camera. They're never going to have the courage to go film a police officer, but they've got every criticism and suggestion for me, someone who's actually went and did it and knows the ins and outs of it, you know. I don't know. It just seems like, and then the thing is, they're not willing to have their mind changed, right? So they go, oh, these frauditors. If you use the term frauditor and you're not able to have your mind be changed, that's literally the definition of bigot. I'm going to pull that up on the screen right now so we can take a look at it. A person who is stubbornly devoted to their own opinions and strongly intolerant of other people who hold different beliefs, backgrounds, or lifestyles, and they will not have their mind changed. That's the difference. What makes you a bigot is if you're not willing to have your mind changed. Stubbornly devoted to their own beliefs and prejudices, intensely intolerant of beliefs, backgrounds, or identities of others, and is often directed at differences in race and religion. What makes you a bigot, though, is if you're not willing to have your mind changed. So, anyways, they come in, they don't want to hear no different. That brings me back to this other guy, why I was glad that he came into my comments. He showed some respect. You know, Clay Shields, I might mod him up, man. He's a Blue Line supporter, I think. But he doesn't hate any one group, it seems like. Anyways, I support that sort of, dialoguing without having to dehumanize the other side. I went back and forth with this guy. He disagreed with me time and time again. And I don't believe he ever called me any kind of a POS or a DBAT. He didn't take away from my humanity, which we all do, it seems like, very easily. Anyways, you live a whole life, you're not going to get a chance to be explained to how you were misguided, actually, which is exactly what it is, right? Because if you would have known, then there'd be nothing to really judge for, I feel like, in most cases. So you were misguided. That's probably what you need to be shown. Instead, there's like a judgment, and you get judged for your whole lifetime. This reminds me again of the bootlickers in the comments and the people that just disagree and they've never done it. It's like, you're judging me based off of a clip, mind you, less than 60-second clip of a video I made over 5 years ago, as if I should be eternally damned for what I did in the video. And even God waits for a man to die before he judges him. And who do you think you are that you judge a person before they've atoned, before they've lived out their life? How dare you judge me from something 5 years ago and you haven't spent 5 minutes to see if I've learned the error in my ways? I'm just saying, man. Who's really more wrong here? Yeah, I said some bad things to cops. I had some good intentions. Maybe I was paving a path to hell. But you know what? I learned the error in my ways. Isn't that what it's about? Isn't that really truly better than a guy that's going to sit behind his keyboard, judge from ignorance, and can never have his mind changed about intolerant judgments he's made of others without even trying to understand them? I don't know. I think the guy that's wanting to improve is better than the guy that's happy being a bigot. That's my take. Anyways, those comments, they don't really bother me so much anymore. I realize that when they come in and they're like projecting all of this emptiness and hurt from inside of themselves onto me, and I think everyone can see it. So I've been having a lot of fun with those guys, just wishing them love lately. Just the concept alone makes me question the entire idea of a judging creator God. You know, I always thought it was weird that, like I said, he hadn't lived a human life. How can you judge? It's like you people that talk about drug addicts or whatever kind of addict and stuff, and you never use any kind of a substance. You shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. You literally don't know what you're talking about. And the comeback is always like, oh, my uncle so-and-so, my friend's dad. Yeah, that's not even derived from your personal experience. You don't know just from observing. See, you're going to make observations and draw conclusions about the causation, and you really just don't know what it's like. If you haven't been homeless or whatever, anything, you really don't have a firm footing to judge it. I face this all the time, man, when I'm out cop watching. People come in the comments, they've never filmed a cop. They've never voiced any kind of disagreement with law enforcement, in my opinion. And they have all their criticisms, right? They're never going to have the courage to go do what I do. Why didn't God come down and live a life before he passed judgment on people that do? Where's the grace? Where's the love? How is that fatherly? A bad dad, maybe. Beat you as soon as you come home without telling you how you did wrong, right? Is that how God treats us after we've lived this whole life in the ideology of Christians? Wouldn't it have been his fault to like have let you be misguided? Like he set up the entire situation and he's supposed to be your father, right? Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, man. Tell me how I'm wrong. I'm just trying to grasp this stuff. You know, it's like I said, man, you guys want to watch like a 30-second clip of somebody from a few years back and stuff, and then your house is so clean, your life is so virtuous. You could watch a 60-second clip of a video from 5 years ago and decide that the person in the video is unredeemable for their actions or just the perceptions that folks have about him. Hold on, guys. I think I heard a knock. I guess not. Have to check, though. Thought I might have been getting swatted. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, maybe before you label somebody as like irredeemable, shouldn't you just try to explain how they were wrong and out of pocket? Isn't it better to just come in with a little bit of love? That's the other thing. You guys come in, you spent no time learning about me. I come over to your Facebook, I look at you, I learn about you. I spend way more time showing love and learning about you than you ever showed me when you made your shitty comment on my video. Like, it doesn't make sense. You guys have everything to lose, and you don't know my life. And you're going to come over with your beautiful family and everything you've got to risk and lose. It just doesn't make sense. How can you feel empty that you need to put another person down on the internet when you've got such a beautiful life? That's what I'd be wondering. Maybe someone can tell me in the comments, why do folks feel the need to do that? Check out this helicopter ride, though, guys. Oh, no, this ain't the one. Hold on, let me see if I can find the helicopter ride, because I wanted to do something light before we do this one. Oh, I didn't get the link for the helicopter ride. Is this it? Maybe. That ain't it. Dang. Well, we'll just have to get into this one here. This is a TikTok that I found where they're talking about a judge that was corrupt. I mean, it's crazy, right? A corrupt judge? Just go figure. All right, we got it on the screen. Here we go. Let's hear about it. Remember that judge, guys, that got shot and the sheriff came in and shot his ass in his chambers or something like that? I think this is the sheriff right here, and that's the judge. Wait, is it? Yeah, I think so. They kind of look similar to me. But this dude was running a sex ring out of he turned the jail into a brothel. He said they would take these women and they would parade them, I guess, or something, and then it was so casual that the victim said they would just pick which ones they wanted to be with, and then the judge would like give you a little gift, a little judicial gift as like a thank you for letting them do that to you, I guess. And he was threatening everybody, I guess, in the town. And I think he threatened this sheriff's daughter. He found the daughter's phone number in the judge's phone. Let's talk about it.
Mullins, I'm not sure you should have been running a sex trafficking ring out of the county jail, right? Do you guys remember this guy? Judge Kevin Mullins, who was shot to death in his chambers on camera by the town sheriff, had turned the Letcher County Jail into a brothel to fulfill the disgusting fantasies of him and his buddies. And I don't mean he was turning a blind eye. Oh no, he was the freaking ringleader. Mullins and his disgusting friends would set up these parties at the county jail and other buildings in town, and they would pick which inmates they wanted to be with. As a thank you to the women, he would reduce their jail time or whatever punishment they were facing. And if the women didn't want to or refused to
how freaking demeaning. Oh my goodness. I couldn't imagine. And then just imagine you live in this area and there's like no way for you to escape. That guy's got the long arm of the law. There's nowhere you can go. But listen to what else he did. He threatens their children and stuff. Oh, you guys can see this, right? Oh, good.
Participate, he would threaten them with maximum sentences or kick them where it really counts. Threaten to call CPS. He was literally leveraging their freedom for his sexual fantasies. And the most deplorable part of it all, the entire county knew. Tyra Adams, one of his victims.
What kind of world do we live in where everyone knew about it? Oh man. You know what? It's a messed up world. I wish, we need a savior right about now, don't we? Everything's all messed up. We need somebody to show us how we've been misguided along the way. Am I right? Hey, Gary, you still watching on Facebook? Or who's on YouTube now? Would you tell me, are the audios good in the chat, pretty please?
Said, quote, "Who would believe us anyways? The whole town was doing it. Nobody cared. They're all swingers. It was all a big party to them. It was just so normal. They used this against us to ruin our lives." We still don't know exactly why Sheriff Mickey Steins gunned down the judge, but we do know the sheriff told an arresting officer that the judge was trying to kidnap his wife and kid. We also know that literally seconds before the murder, the sheriff asked to borrow the judge's cell phone to call his daughter, which is how the sheriff learned that his daughter's cell phone number was saved in the judge's phone.
Yeah, he must have been extorting the daughter, huh? Seems like to me. Man. That's tough, man. That's why I wanted that nice clip to go in between those before we talked about that. We're going to have to look at some kittens or something at the end of the stream and just kind of decompress. What y'all think? Kittens or dogs, or what kind of cute animals should we look at? I love horses or anything that flies. Maybe we'll do birds. Y'all want to look at birds? Put a bee. Put a bee in the chat, y'all. Want to watch the bird. How come no sound?
Well, it's not up to them.
It is up.
All right, so this guy's sitting outside at a library or something, and they think they can make him leave.
Well, I'm going to stay here about 3 hours, then I'll move.
Okay, well, they don't want you here.
Well, it's not up to them.
It is up to them.
No, it's not.
It is up to the manager.
No, sir, it's not.
Why do you think that?
It's up to the law.
Do what?
I have 3 hours to rest.
Well, this is what I don't want to put you in jail, my man.
Right to rest,
I don't want
man.
to put you in jail.
I don't want you to lose your qualified immunity
Should have
either,
the
so
right
I wouldn't
to
put me in
rest.
jail. I have a right to be here. They don't have a right to tell me to
In
move.
the wind, I'm the song of the South. We're all that big boy shit. We'll get you pushed in the mouth. I live life with no questions. I'm
What policy have I violated? What law have I violated? It doesn't matter. This is public property. They don't get to tell people who can be here and who can't.
That's right.
No, they can't. No, they can't. Well, I'm going to stay here about 3 hours, then I'll move.
This cop thinks because you're a manager, that gives you're the manager of the library, you're the manager of the public property, so you could just tell the public whatever you do, I guess.
To them.
Oh, look, what do you see right there, guys? Is this the blue line? Is this the blue line stuff that they use? The little black or whatever for the fallen officers? It covers the badge. You see that? How it covers it? This is that blue line shit.
Think that.
It's up to the law.
Do what?
I have 3 hours to rest.
Well, this is what I don't want to put you in jail, my man.
Yeah.
I don't want to put you in jail.
I don't want you to lose your qualified immunity either, so I wouldn't put me in jail. I have a right to be.
This guy's high ranking. Is that 4 stars on his collar? Because I think that's a captain then.
Here, they don't have a right to tell me to move.
But why do you think that?
Because I did my research before I
Is that a blue line ring?
came out.
Okay. So the establishment you're the manager here, you're saying doesn't have a right to tell you to leave.
What
Hell
policy
not.
have I violated? What law have I violated? It doesn't matter. This is public property. They don't get to tell people who can be here and who can't. No, they can't. No, they can't.
That's that one was good, wasn't it? All right, we got this one. Oh, this lady was funny. Let's check it out.
Because I am currently reading
called the
through
House Committee.
U.S. counterterrorism strategy for 2026. And on page 5, I'm seeing that we're doing thought crimes now, and that being anti-fascist is one of the 3 major types of terror groups, according to our government, apparently. And I don't want to commit any thought crimes, so I was hoping you could clarify for me what position is acceptable to have about fascists. If being anti, which means opposed or against fascists, makes you a terrorist, then what is the acceptable position on fascists?
I'm just pulling up the CTI guide.
Sure, thank you. It's on page 5, if I didn't say that already.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, so if our government is labeling one a terrorist for a belief, first of all, but that belief is being anti-fascists, what position are we supposed to have on fascists?
Well, I think the definition of fascism has become quite elastic. And typically groups...
If it's elastic, what you're telling me is that they can label us anti-fascists for anything. They can make up a definition and then label their own citizens terrorists.
Well, what's the definition of fascism? It's incredibly hard to define.
I would argue someone who labels their own citizens terrorists based on their beliefs would be fascists. Would you agree?
I'm not sure.
You don't know if thought crimes is something that's fashy? I think you do know. What do you think if being anti-fascism makes you an enemy of the US government, what does that make you?
What does that make me? I'm not sure. I mean, this is released by the White House. This is the...
So I think that what happened is she's got the guy. She probably got somebody important on the phone when she first called, and they were too busy, and they like gave it to the lowest guy on the totem pole. And fucking he's doing something else too, probably, but he's just doing his job here. He's taking the undesirable task for the day.
House Committee on Homeland Security.
I believe the Counterterrorism Committee subcommittee falls under y'all, does it not?
It does.
So what you're telling me then, to be clear, if you're saying this is all...
Oh, she's gotten a bit choppy. It looks like her emotions are getting carried away with her.
Abstract.
She won't let him talk.
Then what you're telling me is the White House just put out a publication that said that they're going to label people terror groups who need to be defeated if they are against something that is undefinable, which means defined however the government wants it to be. You're smarter than this. I know you are. You wouldn't have gotten this internship if you weren't smarter than this.
Poor guy.
They have their own number and they have a hotline. I'm not exactly sure what.
Well, it's this group's job to keep the executive branch in check. And currently what they're doing is they're letting the executive branch threaten U.S. citizens based on their beliefs. And what's more outrageous is the belief that's not allowed is being against fascism.
Could you imagine getting this call though? Can you really imagine just getting this call though? Who wants to talk to this lady? I will put her on the phone. We can talk to her. Do you think she would be willing to have her mind changed at all? Do you think she would ever give up on her position?
Wake the fuck up, buddy. Who are you working?
Oh yeah, you're on such a. I just love they come from this really low level of like judgment and superiority. And then they want a virtue signal, like they're so much better. I think we're all just feeling something because we can't do anything about some of the atrocities that are happening under the executive office rule. But yeah, people are losing. She's lost touch right now, I think, in my opinion.
For
Hysteria. That's what it actually is.
The legislative branch.
Whose job is go ahead, remind me.
Is
Job is oversight
it is
of the executive branch of the DHS.
Oh, fantastic.
The same things. The CTI Center is not under our purview.
So you're telling me, like, come on, bro. Like, just be real with me for a second.
I don't understand what they're trying to. What are you?
I would like Congress to do their job and to get rid of the fascist in the White House who's threatening us with thought crimes. This is embarrassing. You know precisely what's happening. You know Congress could do to stop it. And instead they're rigging all over the country. They're stealing our money to build their favorite ballroom. This is shameful. You're smarter than this and you know you are.
What's she shaming him for? What is it? She can't be more clear because I don't understand like what she's actually mad at him for now.
Disgusting. And
it sounded to me like he was reading something that was new to him. He just got the information from the White House. It sounded like he said to her.
Pretending you're separate from it doesn't make you separate from it.
I was more just curious about the nature of like substantively, what would you like?
I would like for them to remove the nut job who is threatening us with thought crimes for being against fascism, who's also, by the way, named in the as a pet 38,000 times. I want them to remove him from his position of power. He's done nothing but hurt us while stealing our money over and over in every possible way. That's what I would like them to do. They're neglecting their oath to the Constitution over and over and over. And you have to be a idiot to not see it. Literally the entire world except your goddamn cult sees it. And I know enough staffers to know that half of you guys see it too, and you're being complicit anyway.
You know a lot.
You know a lot? Is that what he said?
The arrogance you have as you're a traitor to your country.
She's calling him arrogant and a traitor and stuff. Like as if this guy down here, the lowest man on the totem pole, he himself has the ability to get Donald Trump out of there without anything organized, just based off of him and his will and intelligence alone.
Disgusting. What's your name?
You're disgusting. Now give me your name. I'm going to shame you by name.
Gus what?
Why?
Come on, Gus. You got to tell us. You work for us, bro.
Because the whole internet's about to know. Gus what?
He's not going to tell you.
You can find it. I mean, I'm not going to help you.
I know you're not going to help me. I know. You work for me. I pay your salary, and you're not going to help me. I know. Because y'all haven't been helping us because you're working for a pet loser in the White House instead of the people you're actually supposed to be serving, Gus.
Is it Gus?
Have the day you deserve.
Is it this person? Gus Bilirakis, Florida's 12th district. Trade subcommittee. She said he was on the House subcommittee. Looks like this might be the guy, Gus. He's like, I'm not going to help you. Dude, that's not right. How are you going to work for us and not tell us your name, man? At least he said something to call her, I guess. And to call him. Make sure you follow over on Facebook, guys. Make sure you follow the Amazing Audits page over on Facebook. That's facebook.com/Amazing Audits. One word. You'll see this over there. I guess it is live. I was trying to say Amazing Audits page over on Facebook. Well, it is live on over there. That's facebook.com/Amazing Audits. Anyways, thank you guys for being here. We got some more to talk about. We've been doing pretty good on Facebook. Over there. I've had over 618,000 audits in the last month over here. Over on Facebook. Well, it is live on 130,000 on YouTube/Amazing Audits. I still need some help building up. Guys for being here. And the Twitter, we got some more to talk about. We've been doing pretty good on Facebook. Over there. I've had over 630,000 audits in the last month over here. Amazing Audits. 130,000 on YouTube. TikTok. Amazing Audits. Building up. Guys for being here. And Twitter, we got more to talk about. We've been doing pretty good on Facebook. There. Had over 130,000 audits at Amazing Audits. 130,000 on YouTube. TikTok. Amazing Audits. Guys for being here. And Twitter, we got more to talk.
I can't really use my truck. And
so check this out. This dude, right? The flock camera, you remember they got the gangsters or whatever, the carjacking, kidnapping guy. But this dude keeps getting arrested. He doesn't have a warrant, but I think he has like a vehicle that's tagged as someone's vehicle. That could you imagine buying a vehicle and the last person had a warrant or something, and you keep getting pulled over every jurisdiction you go into. They don't even ask no questions. They just assume the flock safety camera is correct. They come rip you out of your car and hurt you and shit based off of the alert from the flock automated system.
Continually getting pulled over. I can't really use my truck in any fashion.
A Coloradan keeps getting pulled over because flock surveillance cameras tell police he has an active warrant. He doesn't. But he can't convince the surveillance network to leave him alone.
Over here, they zipped out of nowhere and immediately got behind me with the lights flashing.
There was no crime committed.
No, I don't have a warrant.
But Kyle Dosman is getting used to sitting in his car.
I don't think this warrant has bbeen on this car for very long, and I got pulled over again. It was actually by the same officer. You need my license? No. Okay. I remember you, man. Okay.
The Cherry Hills Village Police say the Gilpin County Sheriff has a warrant out with Kyle's plate, and it was put on a flock camera hot list.
Everywhere in the state, every time I pass a camera, they get alerts in their car that I'm in the area.
The flock cameras did alert to his license plate being associated to a warrant.
But that Kyle doesn't actually have a warrant.
Nobody should be stopped when there's no legitimate law enforcement purpose for that.
Kyle has called both the Gilpin County courts and sheriff's office to get off the list.
I continually am getting pulled over. I can't really use my truck in any fashion.
A Coloradan keeps getting pulled over because flock surveillance cameras tell police he has an active warrant. He doesn't.
That's so messed up, man. Can he even stop? He can't even stop it. Like, didn't they say they contacted Flock about it? I think they can't even. They put the information in these data centers, man. They can't even get it out. Like, they don't even know what's causing it to alert on you or something, or they don't know how to fix it. The dude keeps getting. Actually, I want that truck. That would be the best bait truck, wouldn't it? That'd be the best bait car for these cops, man. You're like, no, that's not me, man. Says it's you. That's the that's a good lawsuit right there, man. Good 1983 lawsuits. Keep getting pulled over. Is there a lawful reason you stop me? There's not. I don't think that's lawful to stop someone because of a flock hit, is it? That's a good question. Let me see if I can ask Google real quick. Shouldn't be legal, I would think. Oh, I guess it's considered legal or lawful to stop a vehicle based on a flock safety automated license plate reader. But they don't have any. I mean, is it reasonable? It's articulable. It's definitely suspicion, but it doesn't seem reasonable to me. I think they'll lose on that one in the end. It doesn't seem reasonable. You should have to do some other thing, like a visual check. I looked, I seen it was the guy. That would satisfy me. You know what I mean? But if you're just saying, nah, man, and you're not even bothering to check to see, and you don't have the due diligence to make sure you got the right guy, you're just basing everything off of an automated license plate reader. That's messed up, man. You're a bad person, whether it's lawful or not. I mean, that's bad. You're a bad person for that. That's my take anyway. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. I'm willing to be proven wrong.
Don't engage my driver. Back up.
Oh, here we have Chili DeCastro. And this is an interesting view. We've got the Review Journal released some of the body camera footage from Chili's arrest in Las Vegas. And I included it on here, not because Chili's part of our community or whatever, but I did it because what the officer says right here is completely freaking incorrect. And he arrests Chili based off of this, it seems like to me. So let's check it out. He says that the lady in the car right here, the officer says the lady in the car right here has the right to privacy. And I just don't remember that. There's been no reasonable accommodation for privacy made here for her. And the officer thinks he can make that privacy in public. But there is an actual right to press, to free press. So Chili has the rights to be here. There is no right at all to privacy here.
Hey, back up.
So Chili was talking to the driver. He doesn't like cops. He was probably telling the driver not to trust the cops about how bad the Las Vegas cops are. I'm betting. I mean, I just had to guess, but speculation, knowing what I know about Chili, that's probably something he was saying.
You're not involved. You can film, but you need to stay away from my driver. Back up.
He's not even interfering. The officer's totally made this stop about Chili now. And he's going to let the driver go so that he can arrest Chili. Watch.
Back up or I'm going to detain you.
Back up or I'm going to detain you. Why? And it's windy, so he wants him to be back so far the microphone can't hear nothing. So she can have privacy. I think he should have won his case based off of this arrest is unlawful right here. The cop only wrongfully arrested Chili so that he could create privacy where there was none due.
We're obstructing. Get away from my car stop.
Okay. Any cop should be able to do his job. He should feel safe and secure with everything that he has to conduct. I've seen it happen all the time. I could be standing feet away from cops. They have no problem with you standing there filming. It's crazy to think that he targeted Chili right here. Just do your job. This should have been a clear Houston v. Hill, in my opinion. But the other thing is, too, I think you should not talk to police if you're filming them. Chili and a lot of other people, like myself, get to talking to the cop, and that's a huge mistake. My advice to anybody out there is to never, ever speak to cops under any fucking circumstances. If you're driving, you could show them your driver's license without giving it to them, and you don't gotta speak. Facts. Facts. You're only required to present your ID when you're driving a vehicle. And otherwise, unless you've committed a crime, the cop has no reason to stop you. So there's no reason to speak. His training is just to take your words, body language, and use those two things to put you in a cell. So don't talk to him. Chili gets arrested right here.
Listen.
You know, all he had to do was stop trying to be the right guy and just stand there and don't say nothing. Because they're not going to have a case if you didn't say nothing. There'll be no case. Literally. Because you didn't, the only way he could really arrest you is if you basically are saying you won't move. You know, you sat there and said nothing. then he doesn't have that.
She deserves privacy. This is
She
not your
deserves
business.
privacy.
Don't engage my driver. Back up.
So there's a chilling effect on free speech right there too, immediately. So the officer has no authority to tell people not to speak to each other. That's legit. That's legitimate. He does not have any authority to say what he just said at all. You have no right to tell people not to speak to each other as a cop. That's a violation of free speech. Hey, back up. Now that you can do, but you can't say don't talk. He literally said don't speak to my driver.
Back up. You're not involved. You can film, but you need to stay away from my driver. Back up. Back up or I'm going to detain you. For obstructing. Get away from my car.
Obstructing. Now, obstructing is supposed to be a physical act. If you come in between the officer or firefighter that's actually doing their duties, or you refuse to leave a premises where you might be unsafe. That's what I've heard. So how's he physically obstructing the officer? LVMPD are the worst police. They are. I don't care what anyone says. I've had tons of experience with them ruining my life and seeing them destroy my friends' lives and stuff. Like, the LVMPD are absolutely animals. They're the lowest form of human life, actually. I don't want to call someone an animal. God forgive me for that. But they are the worst. They're the worst cops. They're the worst tyrants. They're the worst ones there are, in my opinion. If you're ever in Las Vegas, stay away from the cops, man. Don't ever jaywalk. They will ruin your holiday for jaywalking.
Okay.
You know, it's a commonplace for them to mace you, tase you, and beat you just when they were asking for your ID.
Listen, she deserves.
You go to get your ID and they tase you and then mace you and then beat you while you're in handcuffs and shit. Pull you out of your car, tell you quit resisting. That's how they are. There's a video out there. It's called What Happens in Vegas, I think, or something like that. I have it on YouTube. Let's see. Yeah, there's a movie on YouTube. It's a documentary about how the police in Las Vegas, they shoot somebody and they call that a vacation. That's what they call it, man, when they shoot somebody, because they get 6 months off while it's investigated. They get paid time off. Here, let me make sure I got yeah, it's called What Happens in Vegas. Or I'll drop a link if you guys are interested. Here, I'll put the link in the chat right now. You guys can watch this supporting documentary that supports what I was saying about LVMPD.
Privacy. This is not your business.
This is private scene. Did he just say it's a private scene? It's not. There's nothing this officer ever does in uniform that's private, except for when he goes to the bathroom. That's it. That's it. Everything he does is public record, public interest. It's all public. He's an officer of the public. He's a public office.
Okay. You're being detained right now. Ma'am, you're free to go.
See, did you hear that? He said, you're being detained, and he told the lady, you're free to go.
Come over in my car.
This helps his YouTube channel. He called the officers here in my courtroom today pigs. He called and he's nodding his head up and down.
I don't know how anybody's allowed to record in the courtroom. Maybe the RJ was allowed to. I'm not really too sure. But you're usually not allowed to film in the courtroom.
So apparently
they never let us.
He hates every.
See, here's another one. This is not equal treatment under the law. Like, they wouldn't let an independent press journalist come in here. I wonder if any of our colleagues got to record this. And then it looks like the mainstream media was allowed to.
Law enforcement officer in the United States. All right. Say that, sir. Are you finished with your request for credit for time served?
Hey, that is mother freaking gangster. Straight up. Did you hear what the judge said? She was like, oh, I can't rewind this. Dang it. She was like, "You hate every law enforcement officer," or something like that. He stuck up his thumb and shit. She was like, "You called my officers pigs and shit." He stuck his thumbs up. Like, that's totally gangster, dude. He didn't start singing a different tune, did he? Political prisoner. Sad.
Don't engage in my drive.
Dang, that's messed up, man. Sorry, Chile. They got him too. I hope he sued him back. Just because you're found guilty of something doesn't mean the law didn't mess up when they arrested you and shit. So you still could have a lawsuit against the government. You know that? Even if you're found guilty in court. It could even be something like malicious prosecution. So that could be a civil case. You know, they may have prosecuted you maliciously, which is what I think happened to Chile right there. Oh my gosh. Here in this one, we've got the top cop in Illinois. You guys are you're never going to believe this. Look at the top cop in Illinois, what he does. Because if you make the most tickets or something or arrests, then you get to be the top cop, they call you, I guess, in Illinois. So check out what this man was doing. This is one of our great officer heroes, man, right here with the boots that everybody like to lick on.
As the I-Team first told you last night, hundreds of drivers have been arrested for DUI by the state's top cop, a moniker given to the member of law enforcement who's made the most DUI arrests in the state. But in court records, attorneys have accused the top cop of fabricating evidence and violating drivers' civil rights. Drivers like Sherrard Holland.
Doing a favor for a friend of mine.
As the sun rose on the morning of June 2nd, 2024, local restaurant executive Sherrard Holland says he was confused when he saw the police lights.
I pulled you over because you swerved.
The son of a Chicago police officer, Holland says he was the designated driver for a coworker after working overnight when he was pulled over by Illinois.
Yeah, you pulled over the wrong one, bro. You did it on the wrong one. It was the designated driver, man. You screwed up. Yep, it's just like a scam artist. You eventually find the one, don't you?
Illinois State Police Trooper Kevin Bradley. After speaking with Holland, Trooper Bradley wrote in his report he could smell the odor of an alcoholic beverage emitting from the vehicle.
We're going to relocate.
Suspecting DUI, Bradley asked Holland to continue driving down the road to a gas station. There, Bradley accused Holland of driving drunk. When asked if he would submit to field sobriety tests, Holland calmly refused.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you. I'm ready back. For what reason? Be under arrest. Driving under the influence.
In this dashboard camera footage, you can see the trooper searching through Holland's things before his car was impounded. Later that day, when Holland needed his MacBook, he noticed it wasn't on his inventory slip. He says he assumed it must be with his car at the tow yard.
I decided to ping my MacBook, which was missing, and it pinged to his.
Man, check that out, man. It pinged to a house, man. Look what happened. The MacBook is in this house. Here he come out. The wife is recording. The dude come out with dude's MacBook, man. But at first he tried to deny it.
Is waiting in his car. You can see the trooper walk out and hand Holland his MacBook. The trooper even opens his garage door to show Holland his state police vehicle.
It was a very traumatic interaction with him.
A Tinley Park dispatcher eventually called Holland back.
Is everything okay? You're fine?
Yeah, he's a police officer. For some reason, he took my MacBook home with him.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I'm perplexed.
Yeah.
You probably want to speak to a supervisor over there.
That's what Holland did. He filed a complaint with the Illinois State Police.
Oh, man, could you imagine you get wrongfully pulled over? The dude arrests you on some false-ass shit, dude, some suspicion of DUI, and you're going to get out probably the same night and everything. Like, you don't have any alcohol in your blood, they're going to release you immediately. But then the dude did it just to steal your property, baby, too. He pulled people over, take them to jail, because the incentive is he could take some of their property home with him by secret crime. That's awesome. Top cop, man. Top cop. Love it. Stole the MacBook. Hey, that reminds me. Did you know that police departments steal more in public asset forfeitures every year than all of the thieves combined in America? Yeah, the police are better thieves than the thieves are. Go figure, right? It's called public asset forfeitures, and they keep numbers on it. You could pull into a jurisdiction and you lose your property, and no crime is ever even, you're not charged with any crime. They just take your property. Yeah. Oh, what do you guys think about the weather? What do you guys think? You think we'll have like a dust bowl for 2027, 2028? Is this El Nino gonna take out the soil or what? No, I'm not gonna subscribe to your stuff. Sure, get out of here. Just want to learn about the El Nino, man. A powerful El Nino is set to reshape global weather in 2026. Scientists are still sorting out how strong the shift will be. Some think it could be among the strongest El Ninos we've seen in recent history. Amazing. I wonder if there's a video on it after this ad. I think so. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment. Tell us where you're watching from. Where you at?
That is an interesting question because if you see some of the forecasts right now, you might think, oh, they know exactly what's going to happen. But some of the scientists are very concerned because there's a known weakness in the ability to forecast El Nino between February and May. The spring forecast period has historically been sort of a tricky time. So they don't necessarily know it gets better. So it's particularly tricky for this certain time of the year in the spring, and the climate models have historically been a little bit overconfident.
And a hurricane season officially begins on
Look at
June
that hair.
1st. Historically, El Nino can
What's you're on this TV? Is it the best you could do with your hair? I mean, it's beautiful. That's what I mean. I'm not
suppress
saying it's
Atlantic
like-
hurricane.
I feel like maybe there's probably some more you could have did though. Beautiful hair.
But is that still a reliable rule of thumb with today's warmer oceans?
That's a good question, Dana. The scientists say that yes, El Nino can and does suppress hurricanes, and I don't think they're completely clear yet on how much that might be changed by the warming oceans. But one of the things that's been particularly important for the National Hurricane Center is that people need to understand that yes, an El Nino can suppress activity, because once this atmospheric link forms, it creates differences in the way that the winds move across the country. And so these vertical winds that end up dropping down over the Atlantic can disrupt hurricanes and do disrupt hurricanes, making it hard for hurricanes to get those high cloud tops that make them strong.
Wow, the oceans are warming, and the North Pole's moving. What else we got? All right, guys. Well, that starts the next segment of this show, which is going to be about police fragility and the blue line of white supremacy that divides us. We're going to talk about it some more, guys. I got some articles here, and thank you to Clay Shields for bringing it up, man. We had to really check out. Well, you know what's what. What makes the blue line a white supremacist thing, or I feel it's a supremacy thing, not specifically white supremacy. It just seems like they've invented another class of folks that is above everyone else. Let me find my tab here. Critics and researchers argue that the flag acts as a second Confederacy, or a fascist banner representing the us versus them mentality that sets police apart and superior to the community they serve. It's funny, the guy wanted, like I tried telling Mr. Shields that it was a simple Google search if he wanted any more information. I at first I wasn't, I didn't believe him that he wanted to just get knowledge and stuff, because it seemed like it would have been easy to find this information if he really wanted to know, instead of calling me a liar. But yeah, there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of articles and shit. We're going to look at some of them. Official responses. Several law enforcement agencies have banned the display of the flag in their stations or on uniforms, citing it as associated with hateful ideologies. You freaking A right. And the need to restore community trust. That's when I got the tour of the Arlington, Texas, or when I was in Texas, I got the tour. I was ready to tear these blue lines off the wall, man. They were so infuriating. The police had violated us, and then when I went down to their station, they had a blue line covering up the windows and shit. I was mad. I was about to go to jail. I told them, I'm going to remove the damn line. You take it off of there, or I'm taking it down. Yeah, you know, what do you guys think? Is the blue line for fallen heroes? Is it for fallen dirty cops? Should we be talking about the lives of the people that they destroyed? Or should we be talking about this guy that got killed in the line of duty? You know? Have you guys ever thought about getting legal psychedelics? I mean, I was watching this video the other day, and it got me thinking about, like, psychedelics and stuff, man. And, I was thinking, hey, I think these are legal here in, like, Colorado, especially in Denver. So, I was checking out this video, and she's got these really cool little slime moldies right here. And look, she got like a microscope lens on. Look how tiny they are, man. Pretty cool. And I was like, man, that kind of looked like a psychedelic mushroom, right? And so I did find a place. It's in Colorado. It's in Denver. It's over on 8th Avenue. It's called the Lyman Support Center. If you're ever in Colorado and that's something that interests you, you guys can, oh, here, let me put it on the stage. You couldn't see her. Here's her video with the slimes on there. I'm going to put a QR code on the screen. You guys can scan the QR code if you want some more information about the Lyman support centers, where you guys can go in and, like, after 2 p.m. in less than 5 minutes, you could go in and get yourself some funky dunky mushrooms there. Totally legal. I don't know why my QR code ain't right here. Oh, here it is. They didn't put it up there, though. I'm just going to show you the page. It's called Lyman Support Centers. And you check that out. Go over here. Here's all the information. Hours are between 2 p.m. and 6:45. You come in, 21, with a valid license. He gives you a little piece of paper with, like, some journal entry questions and stuff you could ask yourself. Yeah, guess he won the 2025 Psychedelic Cup for most homogenous. They've got all kinds of stuff here. There's a huge community. There's all kinds of articles that he's been mentioned in, I guess. They got DMT pens in there. So if you want to get DMT, you take 3 pulls off this DMT pen and you go meet the entities. They got drink recipes on here. The DMT pen was pretty good. The mushrooms, I might have liked it a different strain or something, but yeah. Anyways, take you no time at all to go in. You don't got to make an appointment. You just ring the doorbell, you push, and then you pull, and you're in. Get you some funky psychedelics for your little mushroom trip. This guy's working on something too, man. He's working on an automated tax system with make stable coins or something, and he plans on paying down. He could pay down the American debt with the stable coins somehow. I don't really understand exactly how it works, but I got some information on it. You guys can check it out. I think I posted it on my Facebook. There might be something on my community tab. Let me go look now. Want to make sure I'm telling you the right information. If you're on Voices of the Silence, come over to the community tab. Okay, I didn't put it on there. Anyways, you can find it on the Facebook. You can find it on the Twitter. You guys follow on those links. You can see more about his stablecoin thing. See, how long have we been live? Oh, that's a good long live stream, about 2.5 hours. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for commenting, everyone. Check out the Lyman Support Centers if you're in Colorado and you want to get you some funky psychedelics. Check out the DMT pen and blast off. Anyways, I do appreciate all of y'all. Tamsin, thanks for being here. I can see you over on Facebook. And that's really all I have to say. I had a little bit more to go over, but it's getting long in the tooth. I'm gonna go get me some dinner, maybe make a little banana slushy or something. Before we go though, I did want to look at some cats, or what was it, birds we were gonna do, right? Let's check out some cute birds, man. All of the birds all over the world. He's running his hand under it. Like he's waiting for it to warm up and stuff. She's getting her work done though, look. Bird trying to get her. Magpie. I think the magpies are pretty. Cannibal. Little cannibal, though. Aw. Child's laughter. Little bird. Peekaboo. That's a pretty bird. Yeah, man, I always like to wind it down with a little love over here. You know, we talk about some pretty tense subjects. It's kind of traumatic. I want to make sure that we get a grounding before I let you all go. And make sure we can see this. Oh, damn it. I didn't have it on stage. Shit. I'm going to have to go back and show the birds now. There's the guy, he was trying to get the water on him, trying to wait for the water to warm up. I'm sorry I didn't show you guys sooner. I was just a little carried away with the animals. He's trying to get the water warm. This is the little bird, the lady doing her work, but the bird trying to get her. She's getting it done. Look, this is the next question. Here's the magpie I was talking about. Being a cannibal. I guess that don't make a cannibal if a bird eats eggs. Oh, here's the one with the laughter. Isn't that pretty? Little guy scratching his ear. That's the pretty bird I was talking about. I thought I could share this with you guys.
Maria!
What the heck? There were some cute birds.
Oh man, what the heck? I mean, he really looked like he shot him though. The sparks really got his ass. Let's do that again. Pow! Aw. Yeah, he shot him right in his face. Maybe it's like a spark gun or something and not a cap gun. I don't know. He's grinding. He grinded.
Yes.
Hey, the Marine is the Army dude is scared of the goose. The goose really had some fight on him. Did you see that? Look, the goose got some anger in there. A little bit of vinegar in his veins, man. He targeted one dude too. He didn't care about the other ones, man. It's like he knew him. He was waiting for him and shit. As soon as I see that, I'll go get his ass. Hey, that's kind of funny though. Let's watch it again. Why did he come right up to the
Yes.
And the dude looking like he really could have boxed him and shit too, man. Like, I think the dude's scared of geese, man.
Oh my god.
Get there. はい。もういいよ。もう閉めないよ。あ
Try to get me. Oh, that's incredible. You get the little hummingbirds right in your hand.
He's fixing it.
Oh, he's... That's cool. That is so cool. Anyways, if you guys want to watch more of the bird video, you're going to have to go over and check it out on the Pet Collective. One of my favorite places to catch me some cute animals. They always got some good clips. I don't know how they get them all, but it's a lot of work to put clips together. I really appreciate their efforts on that. That being said, I love each and every one of you, and I'm glad you're here today with me. I'm glad we could share those cute animals and the thoughts about the blue line. Leave your comments below. I'm definitely interested in having my mind changed about the blue line, but I think even Google knows, even the AIs know it's not that hard to just find a piece of information that's not me, a source that you could rely and trust, and you can see that what I said is right. The link for which Nemesis on Spotify. Yeah, that's right. I got my Spotify podcast too. That's called Cop Watch Chronicle on Spotify. MC Nemesis. Where's the link? The link to what, bro? I wish I knew what you was talking about. I put it in the comments right here. This link. Is that the one you're talking about? You might be over in PM. Anyways, he might be on the vertical stream. Maybe that's why he can't see the link. I'll put it down in the comments. I love y'all. Have a good night. If you see a stop, film a cop. Boop, 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 boop.